Good evening and welcome to Kneecap Biting with the Detroit Lions. It is the NFL Roundtable Talks. I have my good friend Travis Holmes here. He is from Big Cat Country, otherwise known as Jaguars Country, not
Yeah,
Lions Country. But
yeah.
I love having fans of other teams to talk about NFL news because it gives you a nice, well rounded opinion instead of a one side. Even if you agree, at least then it's a nice, well rounded opinion.
Hey, man, I thank you for having me. I thank you for having me. And again, we go back. So I like the Lions. I can't say love, that'd be too much. But I like the Lions. So at least we have that going for us. Like if the Jaguars weren't my team, they would probably at least cut my top three. So I'm here for it.
Brent DeWitt says, "Hey Jay, what did I miss today? Cooper Cup is the biggest news out there on the injury front because he has been ruled out and is going to see a muscular skeletal specialist in Minnesota to see if he requires surgery to repair his hamstrings. If that happens, he more than likely will miss the season, which is a huge blow to a bunch of fantasy league owners who drafted him in the first round."
Oh yeah, that's a rough one. Again, we talked about this just slightly yesterday. Hey man, I actually had trade offers in multiple fantasy leagues for Cup, thinking I can buy him for the low price, and now I am very happy that no one accepted any of those offers. 24 hours later, because I mean he spent nearly a full week in Minnesota with that hamstring specialist, and now they're having those conversations, discussing IR. Ooh, with the previous surgery back in what 2022, and then he had the hamstring issue in August, what last August 2023. I'm sorry, August this year. Yes, and
Yeah.
then the subsequent one. Oh my gosh, bruh.
Yeah, he had a small one during the beginning of training camp,
Oh,
and then he went down and missed the rest of the preseason.
so it's funny though. There was a.
And when I did my draft, and it was on August 27th,
Mhm.
Cup was on the board, and I said, "Oh, I'm taking CD Lamb." I did it for a reason, folks. I did it for a reason, and I got ridiculed for it. I thought it was a smart move. So, what
That's
weapons does
fair.
Stafford have now? He still has Van Jefferson,
And he has Puka. Is it
and he and no,
what
he
is his
has
last
that
name?
one kid that was the undrafted free agent that showed out. Lance McCullers, was it, out of Montana State?
Montana
Yeah,
State. I don't know
yeah,
a lot about
yeah.
Montana State.
Division two team, the Big Sky Conference. I
Okay.
pay attention to them because I had friends that lived in Montana and they were season ticket holders. So I would get updates about every single small school guy in the Big Sky
I got you.
Conference, left or left. That's where I also heard about Trey Lance before he got national media coverage. It's where I heard about Eric
Mm,
Berriere, the guy who came in and made it so the Panthers won their second game in the inaugural season of the USFL.
okay. Well, I'm just going to say it now. I feel personally, Puka Nakua is going to be the one to slides into that Cooper Cup role and takes on. I believe he was their
He is,
fifth round pick this year.
yeah, he was a fifth
Uh,
round pick, and he is a route runner. He's similar. He's a little faster than what Cup was, 40 wise,
he's been
and he
mossing
was
people in their
faster on
camp.
the field.
Yeah, he's been mossing people in their camp, and that's what caught my attention. And if Cup is out of the picture, 'cause, I mean, they were talking about molding him in that shape of Cup, for future years. But now, if he's no longer there, somebody's got to get that rock, and that's going to be a bad offense. But a bad offense is going to throw the ball, 40 times a game. So,
I have the over under at 5 sacks before Stafford is retired with that back and
oh,
neck that's held together with twist ties and needles.
poor baby, and all the man wanted to do, all the man wanted to do was just come into work and have a locker room that talked to him and didn't call him sir all the time, and now he's walking into a season. Just you may as well just start playing
He
the
has so
funeral
many
music
new
now.
faces. He talked to the equipment
Goodness,
room manager to take pictures of everybody and put their names beside them in a notebook.
hey man, you can't
I
fault the
can't
man
blame
for
him.
trying.
He
Yeah,
needs a
you can't fault
yearbook.
the man
He
for
needs a
trying.
yearbook. And I wasn't trying to be rude or anything, but it could be due to all the blows in the head. It's the precursor to Alzheimer's.
Does it even have to be that though? I mean, I
It doesn't have to be. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
it can be CTE, it can be bad memory, it can be a boatload of other things that still all don't mean this. They all mean this is bad either way.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he can't remember guys' names and faces is not a good thing when you're a quarterback. Hey, you, number 87, go deep.
Ooh. So that's what it was. I remember he had a procedure, Cooper Cup. He had the tightrope procedure back in November 2022. That's what it was. It
Hmm.
was a tight. I'm like, it was another procedure. The tightrope procedure in November 2022. The hamstring strain this year, and then maybe we don't even know if he will or when he will return from the injury. It was the same thing Amari Cooper went through, and Zach Moss and Tua. And that's an interesting one. It's 'cause basically hoping, fingers crossed, it's isn't the same thing for Tony Pollard. Um, they have to go through that tightrope procedure, ends up having that hamstring strain, dot, 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 hoping it doesn't, reoccur, any future issues with that hamstring. So that's just that, let that linger out there. You never get you some shares of what Deuce Vaughn.
Yes, absolutely. And then, what is it about K State and having micro-sized running backs that are good?
What is it about K State? I mean, maybe that's just the way that they recruit. I don't know.
It's
I
like
mean, it's a
it's like they
smart way
can't
though.
recruit a guy taller than 5'7" for running back.
Mm,
Deuce
you know
Vaughn, and
what?
then that Felix Inudoke, the other one that's in the NFL right now.
I wish I remember what Deuce Vaughn was when he came out of high school though. Like I don't know what star, like
He
what
had to be
rating he
only
was.
5'2".
Oh, that's good. That's
I
good.
can't help it. I can't help
Well,
it.
in
I
my
mean,
head, a lot of those NFL old school guys, and that's probably half of college coaches at this point. They don't want to draft or recruit a guy, I should say, if they don't have that certain NFL look. Like I played under Coach George O'Leary at UCF. That was exactly that kind of guy. We had better guys on our roster than some of the running backs you may have heard of on our roster, like Kevin Smith, but they didn't have that NFL look. And he was not a guy who was going to put a Darren Sproles, who was going to put a shorter running back, even if they were better, because they didn't have that NFL look. And that's why I immediately asked the question of, I wonder, what was he? Was he a
if
three
I
star? Was
remember
he a
right,
four star?
he was a 3 or 4 star. He wasn't a 5 star, that's for sure. But he was a
Gotcha.
3 or 4 star.
Okay,
But he
so then
showed
maybe
out
that
at
that
K State.
explains.
He's a great guy. I don't get me wrong. And I'm happy for him that his dad, who's a scout for Dallas Cowboys, got to
Mhm.
call him on draft day in the 7th round. Said, "You ready to be a cowboy?" I mean, come on, that's one of those tugs right here type of things. When the dad gets to call his son and both of them tear up in the
Yeah,
conversation.
that's top of the list, man, for sure,
I mean, if I was good at anything, I might have been called up one time.
brother. I wish,
I,
man.
I know, but you got to play college ball,
Yeah, yeah. I got
and
to play
that's
for
amazing.
UCF. I got to play for UCF
University
for
of Central Florida.
yeah.
That's in Tampa, right?
No, that's in Orlando.
Oh,
That's
it's
the
in Orlando.
UCF
That's right.
Golden.
USF is it? The
Used to be the
USF
Golden Knights.
Bulls are in
We
Tampa,
don't
right?
like the guys in Tampa. We don't like
Right.
those guys. They need
That is the ones,
I need
right?
that program to go away. Yeah.
I'm just trying to remember because I live down there, but it's been a minute.
Yeah, we're the one. Yeah, we're the ones going to the Big Ten. They're the ones who I guess they're getting a stadium potentially. We'll see. I don't. It'll
You
be
guys are
crappy.
talking about joining the Big Ten?
What do you mean? I think we're in as of, is it this year or next year? Man, my mind's going a little off on this. I believe it's
That's
next. If
cool
it's
though.
not next year, it's this year. But yeah,
Oh, along with FSU and Clemson, right?
I'm all kinds of messed up. Well, I said, what is it? Big Ten, Big 12, Big 12,
Oh yeah, I was yeah. You're in the Big 12 because Big Ten's
Big
where
12. I'm
Michigan.
like, oh gosh, I'm like, why am I feeling like this? That can't be right. I'm feeling like, oh yeah, Big 12. But no, and we're doing fine. I haven't been paying attention to college football for literally for the past year because it's you know me. I cover the Jaguars. It's been all Jaguars since last season,
And it's so hard
and
to keep up.
There's a lot to cover. Well, no, it's going to the games, watching all the film, breaking everything down, writing all the articles, all of that. So this is just my second season and doing all of it and just juggling it all with a family on the side. So
And then
you want to keep up on all of it. You know how it is.
and then we have the news that all Lions fans are dying to hear about. Some of us are
Oh,
happy about it, some of us are not. But you know what? We still don't have an answer. He still has swelling on the knee. It is a knee, it's a bone bruise of the kneecap. The patella is the name of that bone, for those that don't know. And
mhm.
with the swelling, they can't make a decision whether or not he's playing. He's leaning towards playing, but the coach is saying, "Mm, I don't know yet."
I mean,
And
yeah, of
it's
course.
ultimately the coach's decision in the long run, because if he has swelling in that knee, and it's no, I'm going to say it again, and people can fight with me. If you have a bum knee, you tend to overcompensate with the other muscles and limbs that are good, and you can lead to other injuries later down the road, or you can completely tear up that knee in the process.
Hmm.
I hope they err on the side of caution because of what it would mean to their season if they lost him for the season. It has nothing to do with the impact of the game to me.
Fair. And because of that, you have to believe that that's exactly what they're going to do. That they're more likely than not, the coaching staff is just going to lean on the side of caution, and the only reason they're still listing him as questionable is simply because football competitive advantage. I mean, there's always the miracle, the shot in the dark chance that he would actually be able to suit up. But there, for week one, uh, that'd be wild. That would truly be a wild decision for in week one, and it's not even like a game that's in division. Like I don't see why that would it wouldn't make sense. It'd be an unnecessary risk, and I've been wrong before. So this thing could flip tomorrow, and they just be like, no, he's gonna play. He's gonna tough it out and be on a snap count or something crazy like that. But more likely than not, I feel like they're just gonna piece together. They're going to tape together some kind of a game plan that just doesn't involve him, and we're going to see what it looks like without, Kelsey in that lineup. It should be interesting.
Now, what I thought that they should do, let's say his swelling goes down, but he's still having some discomfort. You leave him on the active roster, but you don't use him unless you start to fall behind.
Ugh, that's still stupid.
And it's still stupid. It's still stupid, but
It's
I
still,
said that's something they could
well,
do.
no, because he had to go through warm ups. He still got to go through the whole getting dressed. Got to go
Uh,
through the warm
I
ups. You got
know.
to go through all that extra stress on the same knee
For
that you're
me,
trying to. They could be just resting it on the side, and that's the piece that I'm like,
if
I don't
it's
see it.
if it's more than a 20% chance he could do further damage to it, I'm not playing him.
And that's the piece that I don't fully know, and I wanna be clear about that. I don't know because, again, originally they were calling it the hyperextension, and now they're saying it's technically, it's just a bone bruise, and I'm like, "Wait a minute. If it's a hyperextension, normally that's not that explicitly a bone bruise. It can be one without the other, and it can be both, and it just depends on how it happened, and
The
that's why
good
I'm a little
the
bit
good
cloudy on
news
it."
is, from what I understand, it happened from contact. The
Ah,
hyperextension happened from contact, so it wasn't a non-contact hyperextension, which leans to why it was a bone
got you.
bruise and not a ligament thing. Because had it been from the side, either side or the back
I
on a
got you.
contact one, that's a different type of injury to the knee. But the fact
Well,
that it was a guy that hit him in the front while his foot was planted, and it
no,
wasn't because
now
they were
yeah,
trying to go low. The
now it's
shoulder
making
pad
total
caught him
sense.
right on the because I looked it up on what happened in the play is what
I
I
got you.
I did, because I had to do more research, because I was like, well, man, if this was non-contact, there's no way I'm letting them play, because then there's a chance that there's a minor tear that they can't even pick up in an MRI.
I got you. Yeah. Now that you say that you say it was actually a contact injury, and that's making way more sense, and that's why they're just calling it a bone bruise. In reality, it probably wasn't even a knee hyperextension. It probably was just specifically the bone bruise, but they thought it was a knee hyperextension because of how it happened, and that was just the initial
Exactly.
reports. Right. That makes way more sense. And if it's just a basic bone bruise, that's football, man.
And
That's
we have
that's pain. That's pain tolerance. That's you just figure that out.
Yep, and we have a few comments here from my good friend Wise Bearded Dad, and he says Stafford has one of the best TEs around, that is Higby, and he my fantasy team says so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
you'd rather have the one I got, because I got Sam Laporta on my fantasy team and Dalton Kincaid. I
You
think
are
both of those
starting a
tight ends.
rookie tight end.
I'm starting. I got two rookie tight ends. That's all I need because you know what? If you don't, I got C.D. Lamb, Amon Ra, and T. Higgins in my
Hmm.
flex. I
Okay.
wasn't as worried about tight end then, and I said I might as well take a sleeper tight end. And then I said, "Ooh, Kincaid's still here too. I'm taking both of them."
No, I got you. I'm a Luke Musgrave guy personally. Like I think he's going to blow up just because in that. I mean, it's in an offense with Jordan Love, and you kind of know he's going to lean on that tight end. Like he's in Matt Lafleur offense, and it's not Aaron Rodgers who avoids the middle of the field like it's the plague. Like he's not that kind of person. Like I think it's going to be the resurgence of the tight end in Green Bay, and that's why I'm a true Luke Musgrave. I'm a believer in that way.
And
Um,
in
for the rookie
other
tight
injury
ends.
news, Mosley is back off the pup list, but he is out for the game versus KC. So that means either Stephen Gilmore or Khalil Dorsey will not be one of the seven inactives off the active roster for the two practice squad call ups. They would have to use at least one of them to fill that role for Mosley. Jerry Jacobs, I prefer Stephen Gilmore and how he played because Khalil Dorsey is more of a punt and kick returner than he is a great corner. He made a lot of mental mistakes getting penalties this preseason, so I like Stephen Gilmore's game a little better.
Hmm.
So it would be Dorsey hitting the inactive to me and Gilmore to the active on the 46 active players from the 53 man roster.
Whew. See, I haven't even seen outside of the Jaguars. Obviously, the joint practices you guys had with the Jaguars and the actual game time. I haven't seen enough of your roster to truly know. Like I don't know enough, frankly, about Gilmore other than the play he made in the game.
And here he
Um,
is. I'm waiting for Jordan's camera to pop up here.
oh,
Jordan just popped in. There he is. And here he comes. I'm going to let him hop up. Are you there, Jordan?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm just waiting for your visage to show up on the screen here because my internet seems to
n-
be lagging. But
nice
I'm
to
Um,
glad
see
you're
you.
here.
I see him clearly.
Okay, fantastic. That's all I needed.
okay.
Uh, the first one was that Cooper Cup is ruled out and may have to go to the IR because he's seeing a muscular skeletal specialist about his hamstring injury that he procured this August. Um, that could be huge impact for a lot of fantasy teams around the league, as well as the Rams' chances of moving forward. What do you think about all that, Jordan?
It's the Rams. They suck anyway.
Yes. And
I
then
mean,
Kelsey had a contact hyperextension of the knee that ended up being a bone bruise. There's no ligament damage, and they're still waiting for the swelling to go down before they make a decision on whether or not he's playing tomorrow. I think it's smart to err on the side of caution because of what it means to their season if he injures that knee in the game. Would
Yeah.
you, if you were the coach, would you sit him out week one because that game does not make or break your entire season?
Yeah, I definitely would let them sit out.
hmm.
Hey, and Chad the Teeman says, "Hey guys, nice to see you. I know my dad is watching on the Facebook side, and Restream is having issues about posting up the Facebook comments. I do know you guys are there. Please, if you can, jump over to the YouTube side, and I can address your comments immediately as you see they pop right up." And Wise Bearded Dad said, I why risk Kelsey when you can rest him and have him better for the rest of the season? Casey is good enough to lose this game and still win that division by at least 3 games and still have the top seed in the AFC. And I do kind of completely agree with that sentiment, but you're risking Patrick Mahomes' week one perfect record.
Yeah, but do you think the
I'm
two?
just kidding. I had to make that joke because he does have a perfect record in week one so far, despite having not the greatest defense around him. And speaking of which, the other thing is Chris Jones again has not signed an, a restructured deal to put him on the active roster.
Hmm.
And if I remember right, if you're not on the active roster, you're treated the same as a free agent signing, which means you have to be signed more than 3 days prior to the active roster before you can compete in that week. So I don't think he could compete even if he got the deal done today.
Is that
Yeah.
true? Because you
Yeah,
can
because he
bring
was,
someone up from, but you can bring someone up from the practice squad.
but
Wait,
they
who?
are already on the roster. You see what I'm saying? They put him on the not active roster, not
Oh, so
even practice squad. They didn't put him in the IR. He is on the NFI because he's not active.
Well, the
wait.
practice squad is not a active roster though. The practice squad is literally a separate roster than your active 53. Like I'm not talking
I,
about the 48 that dressed. I'm talking about the 53. That's the active roster. So the
Right.
NFI that
He's not on the 53. What I'm saying is it's no
no,
different than signing a free agent at this point because he has to be added to the active roster, which means they have to drop someone to the practice squad or to free agency to put him on it.
I fully agree with all that, but I'm like the 3-day turnaround is the interesting part because what I was
Well, because think
reading.
about it, 'cause when you sign someone from free agency, if they are not signed, like say it's a Sunday game, if they're not signed by Thursday at 4 p.m., they can't play that week.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I only speak to
And
what
it's
I
the
know.
same
I
as
don't
guys
know.
coming off the IR. When a guy comes off the IR, let's say he comes off on Friday, he can't play that week. He has to play the next week.
Yeah, it has to be within 72 hours of the game.
Yep.
Okay.
And Chad Datima says he will sit. Makes no sense in week one to risk it. Without Kelsey and Jones, the KC is still elite all around and better than any team in the North. And I fully agree with that, but I still think the Lions are going to go there and smack them in the mouth whether Kelsey plays or not.
Yeah, we talked about this yesterday on Inside the
Because
Pick.
they do
And
have the most improved secondary in the division, probably in the conference overall compared to what they had. And Detroit Lions talk with John Kapler says, Pick 'ems, heck yeah. Yeah, that's coming up right shortly. I just wanted to address all of the injury news between the Rams there. I mean, there's a plethora of injuries out there, plethora of small ones. It just came out today that Romeo Dobbs and Christian Watson did not practice today because they're hurt in Green Bay.
Wow.
I
Did
didn't
you
know
did
that one.
you did you break the 49ers news that happened today?
And Nick Bosa signed the biggest deal for a defensive end ever. What was it, 5 years, 186 million or some stupid shit like that?
Yeah, it's like 122 and a half guaranteed.
In 122 and a half guaranteed. Big news. Big news. Big money. Big money Bosa. Just a few hundred miles away from Big Money Donald. And
No,
Chris
he's actually
Jones,
the highest paid defensive player now.
he is the highest paid
That's
defensive
what
player,
they, yeah,
period. Okay.
that's what it
Mhm.
said when they brought
Oh
up
yeah,
the
that's more
contract.
than 30 million a year. So he beat Aaron Donald. Now Chris
Yeah,
Jones has more fire.
he's the highest paid NFL defensive player ever now. Nah, Chris Jones ain't getting more than Bosa because Chris Jones is a little older.
And then John Kapler comes in. Yes, Lions are not going to roll over and say, "Here's your win, Your Highness."
So
Hooker
it
is on the NFI list. What's the soonest he could be activated? Seeing how this is week one, he has to stay on the IR part for a minimum of 4 weeks before he can be activated.
so Bridgewater's the backup then?
Bridgewater's the
Yeah.
backup for now, and then David Blau is on the practice squad, which, hey, David Blau, Nate Suckfeld, hey, they're the same player. Just David Blau is more familiar because he was here for 2 years versus Suckfeld's 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got nicknames for guys that came on the team. David Blau is sometimes referred to as David Blow by most fans. Hey, that means we got Hooker and Blow on Detroit. Yes,
A
I figured
mess.
it out. We got him. Convert him to a wide
But
receiver real quick. And Hooker goes deep to Blow.
I was about to say David Blow definitely ain't going to no wide receiver. That dude's a pocket quarterback.
hmm.
When will we get a real kicker? Probably next season. There was no one really out there worth signing. Everybody says go grab Robbie Gould. Robbie Gould is 40 years old. He can't hit a field goal past 45 yards, just like Riley Patterson, just like
Right.
Michael Badgley. Why pay $3 million for a guy that can't do any better than the guys you got for 750 to $1 million?
Right. I mean, when there's a reason that Riley was available for trade. I mean, or he really was going to be available for free. If he would
Well, yeah,
have
because
come
you
to
guys picked up
Detroit.
Brandon McManus, who has a leg that can hit from 60 yards. You just don't know if it's going straight down the middle or not.
Right. Like Riley was a
That's the only
Riley
difference.
was a great kicker within that 45-yard range. But if you needed anything deep, you just know you're going to be going for a lot on a lot of fourth downs. Unfortunately, it is what it is.
Okay, before we do the pick'ems, I'm going to catch up the chat real good. What's up, Lions fans? Brent DeWitt. Lions now have a history of going on the road and winning against all odds. Chiefs will find out tomorrow. And he throws a dime and he drops it. LOL.
Hey, what's the Lions injury report?
Mosley's out.
Yeah.
Bugs was a healthy scratch. We're going to have at least 5 more healthy scratches because Mosley is on the active roster. Um, Other than that, it's the guys that went to the IR before the season
Right.
started.
You guys are clean.
Jameer Jefferson got an injury settlement today, but he was on the practice squad anyway, so that meant nothing.
So
So
only guy that,
we got an empty practice squad spot.
so the only guy that gets significant playing time that's out is Mosley.
Yeah, Mosley is still rehabbing from his injury. He just came off the NFI and was added to the active list. I didn't expect him to play this week anyways, myself. Just
Right.
to me, it made no sense to bring him back too soon
Yeah.
So this is
because of
this is
what
this
he could
for
mean.
so for the Chiefs to win this game, it would literally need to be a Mahoming situation. Like this is going to be him taking the whole game on his shoulders, just doing this ridiculous running around for 30 seconds, and like this going to have to be one of those games. Otherwise, it seems likely that this is Detroit's game to lose.
I'm just ready.
Yeah, Chad, the team, I got to address this because Wise Bearded Dad, Seattle's going to win the NFC West. Chad said that like a month ago on
Yeah,
here.
yeah. This
So
isn't
I
first.
give him credit. That's not the first
Yeah.
time I've read it in the chat. But I still think it's the 49ers because of that defense. It's their division to lose until somebody knocks them out of that catbird seat. Kind of like
Hmm.
the Chiefs, no matter what they have happened, they're in the catbird seat till somebody knocks them out of the AFC West. I have the feeling
Hmm.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
I'm interested to see Jameer Gibbs tomorrow night.
Oh, I'm excited to see Jameer Gibbs because they already said he's an offensive weapon. We are going to use him in ways that you won't understand. And the reporter says, "Well, explain that." He goes, "Well, we could even line him up at punter, but we're probably not going to do that."
Good luck.
This just sounds like
Wouldn't that be?
Cordell.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
A combination between Cordarrelle Patterson and Alvin Kamara
Exactly
type
what I
thing.
was thinking. This sounds like Cordell Patterson all over again. All
Well,
right,
Yep.
remember that one
just call him
year.
a joker.
Do you remember that
Mhm.
one year the Bengals had Chad Johnson kick an extra point or a field goal?
Yeah. And when he hit the crossbar on the field goal, but barely made the extra point. Yeah, I
Hey
remember that.
man, you sound like a hater right now. All I know is that thing went in. That's a wide receiver kicking.
Hey, the extra point went in. That field goal, not quite.
Yeah.
It was almost as bad as the Cody Parkey double doink in the playoffs.
Ooh, that was a rough.
Ooh, yeah. Because remember, it cost
Hmm.
them a game, and that made
Yeah.
it so they were a wild card instead of a divisional bye. It
Yeah.
cost them the division when he missed that field goal.
Yeah.
But I know you guys are excited about seeing Gibbs, and I question how much he's going to be. Like I really wonder, is the hype going to be worth what you end up seeing? Like maybe later in the season, but I don't know that you're going to see much. The first week of the season, he may get 5 to 7 touches or something like that, or you see him lined up at receiver, but then he doesn't get the target or whatever it may be. And I just hope it's not the hype for 5 plays or something like that, because that's how it was with Cordell Patterson when they started featuring a second and a third running back.
That's the
Ju-
thing that I think is exciting about Jameer Gibbs. Though he's not like a volume guy. He can get 7, 8 touches and get 100 all-purpose yards because he can get the explosive
Mhm.
plays.
No, that's
Right.
fair.
Especially with the 4.34 40.
Yeah, because that's what he did at Alabama. At Alabama, he did have 60 catches, I think, this past year, but he
And
still
then
he still
right,
averaged like 8 yards a carry.
depending on where he
Mm.
lines up, he could be at wide receiver 1, he could be at wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3 for Gibbs. On top of relieving Monty at running back at times, who is the RB1 right now. And as far as I'm concerned, he should be.
To
Because
me, he
that guy led the league in forced missed tackles last year.
to me,
And
Gibbs is a faster Isaiah Pacheco.
no, he's closer to Camara. I'm sorry, I
Yeah,
don't put Pacheco in that discussion. Pacheco, if you watch, the way you beat him is hit him on whatever side holds the ball and time it because he runs same arm, same leg, which makes him prone to fumbling. That's why he did have a few fumbling issues last year. So
speaking of,
I mean,
who's the
Pacheco ran a 4.37. I didn't even know he was that fast.
yeah, he
really?
ran a 4.37, but it's because
Yeah, I didn't know that.
he doesn't have a great first 20 yards.
I
His
wonder.
last
Mm.
20 yards is fine, but that's
All right,
because he
so
runs same arm, same leg, which makes
I
him
got you.
accelerate slower. If he could figure that out, how to run right arm, left leg, the way you're supposed to, he would probably shave 2/10 of a second off his 40 time.
So, who do you guys know who the backup tight end for the Chiefs is if Kelsey can't go?
It's
This
the
is
same guy it
Noah.
was last year. Something bad. It starts with a B. I don't
I thought
remember,
they had
but
Noah Gray or Noah whatever it is. I thought that was the guy.
he's TE3. I thought.
Oh, this
But
is.
I was
let's get
wondering.
into the pick'ems because I got another show to do to get tonight. Because I got to do the Lions pregame show tonight because, hey, we play tomorrow and I don't have time from the time I get out of work to do a show and then watch the game. So, that being said, the first game I'm going to talk about, we're going to go into the Sunday games because evidently tomorrow is the Detroit versus Kansas City. That'll be the last game we pick. We're also going to skip Jacksonville at Indianapolis and we're going to skip Philadelphia at New England. Those will be the three last games we call today. The first one we're calling is the Carolina Panthers at the Atlanta Falcons.
Division game.
It's a divisional rivalry game right off the rip.
Oh man, I'll let you go first.
Go ahead, Jordan.
I'm gonna take it.
I want to call a tie myself.
It's gonna be this is gonna be a defensive slugfest. I'm gonna I'm gonna
With
say
two okay defenses.
I'm gonna say there's gonna be a bunch of field goals. Both teams are gonna kick a bunch of field goals. I'm gonna say it's gonna be 12-9 Carolina.
Ooh, 12-9. What do you got, Travis?
Um, I'm actually going to go on the opposite side. I'm probably going to say this is going to be something more like 24-17 Atlanta.
24-17 Atlanta.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a close, low scoring game. I think it's going to be something like 17-12. I
Ooh,
do. I think it's going to be
that sounds
brutal.
gross.
It's going to be like that Denver Saints game
Hey,
that we saw
go watch
on Thursday
Carolina's
Night
offensive
Football.
line. Go watch Carolina's offensive line. That's all you need to know.
Is that
So
a
is it
good
going to
thing or
be?
a bad
It's
thing?
not the Patriots that we're talking about. It's the Panthers, Carolina Panthers versus Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, their offensive line for Carolina is one of the worst. They're pretty bad.
Oh, I don't watch a lot of Carolina Panthers football, so I'll take your word on that one.
So I think it, for some reason, and I don't know why I'm going to say it. I like Atlanta's run game, but I don't like their passing game. I don't like Carolina's O line, and I barely like Atlanta's better. That's where I'm at because I looked at the roster and I was
The
like,
Well,
oof.
I like
the reason
Atlanta's
why I'm the
roster
reason
more
why
than
I'm
I like
slightly
Carolina's roster, if that
to
makes
see
sense.
that the reason why I'm slightly going Carolina is I think they both got really good defenses. Obviously, Atlanta has the better run game with Patterson and
Mhm.
Bijan
Behind.
Robinson, but I think Bryce Young's a much better quarterback than Desmond Ritter, and that's why I'm taking
That's
Carolina.
where I'm at, and that's why I think it's 17-14 Carolina. That or
Yeah,
it's a tie.
yeah.
I think both teams are going to get in the end zone. I think it's going to come down to special teams, and I like it, Carolina's special teams a little better than Atlanta's.
Oh,
They only got your old boy Chark.
Yeah, Shark might miss the first game. He's been injured all
But then they
preseason.
got
I
Adam
mean, yeah,
Thielen.
that's
So
normal.
Yeah, I mean, you just ask Lions and Jaguar fans. We know all about
Right.
Shark being injured. He had
Bingo.
one
That's
good
normal.
season for the Jags, and that was the year they went into the playoffs.
So it's going to be a
what was it?
Thielen. So it's going to be a Thielen game.
So the
So it
next
sounded like.
game is Joe Thorough versus the massage parlor king, Deshaun Watson. It's Cincinnati at Cleveland. Who you got, Travis? You're on the clock first.
I want to say Cleveland so bad just because just because it'd be fun. It really would just be fun to have people say nice things about that team. But no, man, it's well, no, I'm going to have to
It's
go with the Bengals on this one.
it,
Let's put it somewhere in the realm of 27-30.
all right. What do you got, Jordan?
Fun fact: you said earlier, Patrick Mahomes is one of the best quarterbacks in season openers. Well, guess what? Joe Burrow is one of the worst. So I'm taking the Cleveland Browns at home. The Cleveland Browns have only lost the Cincinnati Bengals one time in the last 8 meetings,
Yep.
and they've won 6 straight home meetings
Mhm.
against the Cincinnati Bengals. So the Cleveland Browns are going to win this football game.
They still got Myles Garrett. That's all I
Yep.
got to say.
And they got
And
Zadarius Smith against Jonah Williams on the other side.
and Lyle Collins still needs to be sued by Joe Burrow for slander for saying they'll never touch you, sir.
24-20 Browns. I'm going 24-20 Browns.
I think the Cleveland Steamers, as Wise Bearded Dad says, the misogynists
So
are going to
you
leave
feel
them
that
painful.
Watson's going to be able to do enough to not screw this
I
up?
think it's more about Nick Chubb than it is
I think
about Watson.
here's the thing: the Browns defense actually matches up really well with Cincinnati.
It
That's why,
does.
like, they're one of the few teams. There's not many teams. There's 3 or 4 that can match up with Cincinnati. They're one of the ones that match up best with Cincinnati.
And here's a game I don't even want to pick a winner. The next game is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers go up to face the Vikings in Minnesota.
I thought you were going to say Chicago and Green Bay.
Oh no, I want to pick a winner in that, especially now that I know Romeo Dobbs and Christian Watson may miss the game. That's huge. That's
You said
huge.
Minnesota and Tampa.
Yeah, and
Tampa.
it's in Minnesota.
I think I picked Tampa on my pick-ons, but I'm thinking about it now. I think Minnesota.
Yeah, I can't pick.
If you go by QB play alone and wide receiver play,
It's got to be
you got to
Minnesota.
give the edge to Minnesota.
Yeah, because Mike Evans, I don't think's playing.
Yeah, Mike Evans is holding out. He wants more money. Chris Godwin got his money, is why Mike Evans is mad.
Yeah,
Makes sense. Facts.
and,
Yeah,
and you
I'm
got
going.
no,
Mike
I'm
Evans
going
took a
Minnesota
pay
too.
cut. Mike Evans took a pay cut to bring Tom Brady back, and now that Tom Brady's gone, he's like, "Fuck you, pay me."
I mean, yeah, you probably shouldn't have taken the pay cut or just instead of just restructured it. That would have probably been the better route.
maybe the Bucks will get so desperate they'll sign AB back.
I hope what happens is Daniil Hunter, now that he got his money, earns it and crushes Baker Mayfield so hard he gets buried right in the middle of the stadium at US Bank Stadium, and we see Kyle Trask emerge as an actual quarterback.
None of these things will ever occur. I mean,
But just to be
but you
different,
will see Kyle Trask play this year. That part I'm pretty sure of.
Probably, yeah.
yeah, it may be the worst D in the league, but you know what? Minnesota wins a lot at home. That's the one
Yeah,
place the Lions have not won on the road yet in the division is Minnesota. So they play tough there. Their crowd is rowdy. They do for a domed crowd. They get loud. They have one of the best stadiums in the league. Minnesota's winning this game in week 1.
I'm saying it's a shootout, though, a higher scoring game.
Oh,
Yeah, because neither team's defense is playing all that great. They lost Sean Murphy Bunting. They lost a few other pieces on that defense.
I'm saying 31-27 Minnesota.
31-27. I'm in the
I
same
would
realm
say
for
high scoring for
30.
this game is probably 24-21, but that's me.
No,
But I got Minnesota.
I'm saying like 30-20. Yeah, I'm still in that 30 range for the winning team either way.
I just know I think it's only going to be a 3-point game because neither team has a great defense anymore. I mean, other than the fact you got Vita Vea in the middle of the Tampa Bay line. They
Yeah.
don't have much of a
Yeah, but
defense.
that doesn't matter because Minnesota's going to throw the ball 50 times.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it just matters if they put three guys on Justin Jefferson and leave Jordan Addison open all day.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we got Tennessee at New Orleans. God,
That's actually a hard one to pick.
it is, but it's at New Orleans is the thing, and New Orleans plays tough at home.
Yeah. I think I picked Tennessee in my pick'ems. I think this is another like slugfest game. I'm saying 17-14
But
Tennessee.
Derek Carr is much better than Jameis Winston,
Yeah.
Mm,
and he's probably better than Ryan Tannehill to most people.
My only thing with Tampa though is Alvin Kamara's not playing. Their defense is older than Tom Brady.
mm.
I mean,
So I'm going the Saints.
yeah, I take Tennessee actually. I think Tennessee will win that
Thank
close
you.
game.
And Jamal Williams.
And
And
I'm
Michael
going
Hutt
Tennessee.
says Saints. Jamal Williams scores the winning touchdown.
I'm going Tennessee. I until I see dang it, until I see what's his name again?
Carr?
Quarterback.
Carr.
Until I see Carr play well and actually read a freaking defense, I have no faith in him. I just
But
don't.
New Orleans has the better defense.
Oh, it's not even about the better defense
Oh, it's
because
about the better defense,
no.
100%.
The Titans are great at stopping the run. That's point blank. Period. They're great at stopping the run. They're literally
Unless
the
you're
top team.
unless you're less than 10 yards out, they don't stop anybody in the red zone.
They were. Hey,
I'm
I don't know.
sorry.
You
That is the
know me,
facts. Go
but you know
look
me.
at it.
You know me. I only speak on what I know, and I know the AFC South like the back of my hand, brother.
I
Come
know.
on. Hey, they are the best team in the NFL at stopping the run. They may
But
suck at everything else, but they're
not
good
within
at
the
that.
10-yard line. You
They're
get
good
to
at
the 10
they're
yard
good at
line, and
they're good
Jamal
at sacking
Williams
the
is going to run
quarterback
it up
too.
their throat. Because remember, Saints have Jamal Williams, the guy that scores more touchdowns within the 10-yard goal line than any other running back in the league.
Yep, in Detroit. Yeah, you're right. But
And they got to
I'm
get
just saying,
down
I
there
don't know.
first.
Yeah,
They got to get
And
down there
they
I don't
got
know
a
first
how
in
I
good
the
O
feel
first
about
line.
game.
that one.
They
Right.
got the better O line. The Saints do.
I hear you, and we could argue till we're both till I'm purple and till you blue in the face. But at the end of all of it, brother, hey, that's just my prediction. My prediction is,
Hey,
hey,
you be nice. Jags
it's gonna
aren't
be 20. It's gonna be
overrated.
Tennessee.
Yeah, I got Tennessee in that one.
New Orleans has Chris Olave, and even if Carr is average at best, Olave has a great game. That's a good point.
Yeah, Olave's the only weapon on that team I trust, though.
Yeah,
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 right.
yeah.
Yeah, Mike Thomas is
Michael
on
Thomas might
Captain
be out
Paul.
for the season by the end of the first quarter.
Kamara suspended.
Yeah,
Slant
Kamara
Boy hasn't
suspended.
been good since his first 2 years in the league.
Their tight end's not bad. Johnson, he's okay. He'll make some plays, but
I mean, I realize that they have D Hop, but they still got Tannehill or Will Levis trying to throw to him.
yeah, but they got the guy number 22 in the backfield.
Derrick Henry, I'm not
Yeah.
worried about him. He's been kind of a non-factor the last 2 years.
You
I do have
always
a
need
point.
to worry about Derrick Henry, man.
I do have a point though. Last 2 years, what has he done?
He still had over 1,000
He
yards.
played well before he was injured. Like before he was injured.
So what's the next game now? We got you picked Tennessee, right? And he picked New Orleans.
I picked New Orleans.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's 2-1
All
towards
right.
Tennessee.
San Francisco at Pittsburgh.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And Purdy is starting.
Guess who's? Hey, here's the thing though. That might on the injury report. I was reading this earlier. George Kittle might be out for this game.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Bosa's already out.
No, Nick Bosa's in
Most of that.
Oh, is he?
because he was just a holdout. He wasn't injured.
Oh, okay. Because I thought he was injured. Because
So
I seen a thing where he was.
with Bosa playing, San Francisco wins.
Yeah, but I know Kittle's not playing on offense. I'm pretty
Right.
sure.
I'm still
I read
not. I'm still
Yeah.
not that worried about that. They still got McCaffrey. They still got Ayuk. They still got Debo.
Debo, yeah. I think this is another kind of sloppy, low-scoring affair, though. Both
Yeah,
teams
it'll
have
be a
really-
low-scoring game because both defenses are so good. I think it's going to be like a 17-10 game.
Yep. I have it 16-13 49ers.
And I'm going 21-17 Pittsburgh.
Ooh, he took
It's in
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. It is in
I heard that.
Pittsburgh.
You said Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Hey man, we used to
Oh,
be
and
in,
I forgot that. I
we
forgot
used
that.
to
I
we used to
forgot
be in
that.
the same conference as them, man. We go way
I
back.
know. I
I
know.
forgot. I forgot to add this. Kenny Pickett on the last play of the game throws to George Pickens and it's an interception.
Hmm. Okay. That's an interesting.
Wise bearded dad, this sounds crazy, but I'll take the terrible towel. San Francisco is a major QB question. Kyle Shanahan's system is so good that Mr. Irrelevant looked good playing in it for quarterbacks.
He looked good for the games that he played, but if you give someone an entire offseason to review everything that you do and how you sneeze and how you like just all of it, I always feel that sophomore slump is going to
Let
be
me-
hard. It's going to hit
Let's
hard.
let's
No,
see how. Hey, let's see how Sam Darnold does on that offense, and then we can judge.
Purdy starting.
No, I'm saying if Purdy doesn't finish the year and gets hurt, let's see how Sam Darnold does before we say how good
Right.
Kyle Shanahan is. Because if he can make it work with Sam Darnold, then I kind of agree. That just shows how bad Trey Lance is.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, and how long before Trey Lance takes over for the Cowboys?
He's not taking over. He's not. Dak would have to throw
You want to know
30
what it is?
interceptions.
I'm going to give you the answer. The answer is if he doesn't restructure, it's next season because the cap hit for Dak is $60 million on that backloaded contract,
I
and
mean,
it clears $50 million to cut him.
you know he's going to restructure. This is the New Orleans Saints way. This is all they're doing is just pushing that money down the line forever and to perpetuity, and eventually the check will come due. We
So
know
I'm
what this
taking San
is.
Francisco people.
So you picked San Fran too, Jeremy?
Yeah,
Okay, so we took San
2-1 on
Francisco.
this one because he took
Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
I took Pittsburgh.
Wow.
All right. Next up, we got Arizona
Oh gosh.
Do you even
Joshua
ask?
versus
Dobbs.
the Washington Commanders. This is the battle for the number one pick. Who wants to lose the game more?
It ain't battle for the number one pick because the Texans are also in that.
I think the Texans accidentally will win more games than either one of these two teams.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I believe the Texans are going to win 6 games.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
what I said.
Yeah, I think the Commanders like a 6-1 team because they got a defense.
That's if Chase Young wants to play because they didn't pick up his
Yeah, but
fifth
even
year
with
option.
he didn't play half of the year last year, and they still won
yeah,
what 5
they were still solid. Yeah,
Yeah, they won 5.
weren't
They won
terrible.
5. They were good.
They were the number 2 defense last year in football, and Chase Young didn't play much.
Dak is a top 5 in the NFC. On whose list? He led the league in interceptions last year. You gotta quit.
You can lead
gotta
the
put
league in
down the pipe,
interceptions,
buddy.
and still you
I'm-
can make those up with touchdowns, though. I mean, yeah.
I'm going to go Commanders though, 27-13.
Yeah, I think you have to be high to take Arizona in this game. Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. I'm putting it probably closer to 10-24.
I said Arizona could win anywhere from between 0 and 4 games, and they're not winning this one. Washington wins. It's a clean sweep, boys. Next up, we have the Houston Texans at Baltimore.
This is another. Just skip this one. We all
Yeah,
knew what.
why?
Yeah, Ravens.
It's
And
all the biggest.
if you're picking the Texans, raise your hand.
It's the biggest spread of the
Next.
week. 10 points.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, Green Bay missing Christian Watson and Romeo Dobbs versus Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears. Oh,
Yeah. I wasn't aware of that one until you said it right before the show started.
and we have a new guest. We have Dom in the building. What's up, Dom?
Yo, sorry
Yo.
it took me so long. It was weird because you know how I always have to email the link to myself?
Mm-hmm.
It was like, your password is incorrect. I'm like, what?
Oh, God. Okay. Carolina at Atlanta. Who do you got? I'm going to go back over them real quick with you.
Where's that game at?
At Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Okay.
A race to 12.
Yeah, we all pretty much said the same thing.
What's the game you just mentioned?
Joe Thorough versus the Massage Parlor King. In the Massage Parlor
Cincy.
King's house.
Boom. Now we got a split.
Now we got a split. Okay. Tampa Bay at Minnesota.
Actually, wait. Let me go back and change that to Cleveland.
You just thought about
So they
that.
can go. Like, oh, we beat Cincinnati.
Yeah, they do it all the time and still lose.
Damn, Jeremy, now you're the only one that picked
I like both
Cincinnati.
those teams equally. I want to see the two Ohio teams take that division over for the next forever.
Okay, now we got the Buccaneers versus the Vikings in Minnesota.
Vikings.
Yeah, I know. I said
Tampa
that's
is
a
an
clean sweep
XFL
there.
team.
Okay, the Titans at the Saints.
Saints.
Oh, there's a split.
49ers at Schittsburg.
Niners.
And Arizona.
Wait, is Purdy healthy?
Say what? Yeah, Purdy's starting.
Is Purdy healthy?
Purdy's starting.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Still picking Frisco.
Shanahan system is
Kelsey's not. Well, may not be, I should say.
And now that we're up to the right one,
Kittle, sorry.
The Cardinals versus the Commanders, and we all pretty much said the Cardinals won't win.
Another race to 10.
Yeah, and then of course, raise your hand if you're picking Houston over Baltimore. Okay.
Houston is not as bad as you think, though.
But they're not as bad. No, I said they're about a 6-win team, but this isn't one of those games.
As bad as that division is, almost everyone is as bad as the next team other than Jacksonville. So there's wars of attrition.
Yep. All right, and now we're at the Fudge Packers versus Chicago.
This is the race to 10.
And Romeo Doubs and Christian Watson missed practice because they're injured.
Both with hamstrings.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, it's in Chicago or in Green Bay?
In Chicago. It's in Lambeau South.
Tie.
Who do you got, Jordan?
Green Bay.
I gotta go. Yeah, I mean, I hate this game.
Yes,
with a
Jeff,
passion.
I see you there. You just hopped in. We're saving Detroit versus Kansas City as the last game. Okay, Green Bay at Chicago. You gotta go Chicago.
No receivers. I gotta go Chicago.
I'm going Chicago too, just because if Love's only receivers will be the other team.
Goodness, that's rough. It's rough to pick. It's rough to pick anybody in this one.
I say tie because I don't want to hear either fan base running their mouths in that NFC North group.
Oh, I know, and you know whoever wins is going to. I think the Bears are going to win it though, with Watson and Dobbs having hamstring issues.
Yeah, I want to believe in the Packers because I love Matt LaFleur, but I just what the hell?
You know what? I stopped calling him Matt LaFleur because he's 1-3 versus Detroit with a rookie coach. He is Matt LaFluke.
Calm down, bro. Calm down.
I
played for Matt LaFleur. Understand?
I know.
I'm
just giving you some shit, man. I got to. It's
Jeremy,
Matt LaFluke. What?
Do you have the line and the over/under on that game?
Yeah, it dropped already. It went to like 1.5.
Last I seen, Green Bay was favored by 1.
It's 1.5 now.
Yeah.
Over/under 42.
Yeah. It's a race to 20.
They won't score it.
I'm taking
there won't be 21 points scored.
I don't think so either. All right.
I'll go Bears 11-10.
We got the Raiders at Denver. Don't everybody rush to answer at once. Oh, man. Travis, you're up first.
Shit.
This is the battle for the bottom of the AFC West, boys.
Let's go with. I'm really just flipping a coin here, bro. Wait. Where are they playing?
Josh McDaniels versus Sean Payton. They're playing in Denver. I'm taking Denver.
Yeah, I'm going Denver. That's it. I'm going Denver. It's going to be 17-10, something like that.
It's going to be 12-9.
Hey, you can't steal my score.
Goodness.
24.
Okay, who you got, Dom?
Vegas.
You're taking Vegas on the road?
24-23.
It'll be Josh McDaniels' second win on the road since he took over as coach.
24-23 Raiders.
Oh, I forgot he's still their coach.
Josh McDaniels is their coach, people. Just remember that.
Raiders 24-23.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm taking the Broncos.
Another split. There you go.
Ooh, Miami at LA Chargers.
This is
This
easy
is
pick.
actually a good game. I think this could be a race to 50. Both teams are fast and decent. Both teams have decent defenses, but they don't like to stop a lot of people in the red zone. Because Brandon Staley can't call a good play in the red zone, not in defense nor on offense. So, I almost want to say Miami's going to pull the upset. Because Tua is semi-healthy until he gets a concussion again.
Okay.
Russell Westbrook.
34-17.
Well,
34-17 Chargers.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I'm leaning Chargers also.
You're leaning Chargers? Yeah, they are home, and it's always hard traveling three time zones to win.
Yeah, 20-23.
Big Dan says Miami wins because Chargers are gonna Charger.
Well, not with the new old.
First of all, you stole that from me. Second of all, I think the Chargers start hot this year
and then fall
and
apart.
everyone gets all hype. Yeah, I got the Chargers high scoring, but closer than whoever said 34-17. Like 34-30.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a race to 60 points, and whoever has the most when they get there. 30. I'm thinking more like 38-35, but it's a 3-point game, but I got the Chargers winning. Let's see. Next up, the LA Scams at the Seattle Sea Chickens. Who you got, Jordan?
The Seahawks. 31-17.
Yeah, with Cup being out, the cupboard's getting kind of bare. Who you got there, Dom?
Wait, who? I'm looking at the lines, and I am seeing that
Rams at Seattle.
Dolphins has the highest over-under.
Yeah, Rams Seahawks.
Rams Seahawks at Seattle.
Oh, Seattle for sure.
Mm-hmm.
K9's healthy.
Yeah. Semi.
Yeah, Seahawks. This is another one of those. I'm pretty sure we're all going to land on the same side of the line.
Yep, it's a clean sweep. I'm going Seahawks.
27, like I don't know, 27-3.
I will say
27-3.
I will say. I want to see what Geno Smith we get this year. Do we get the Jets Geno Smith or the Seahawks Geno Smith?
Yeah, if the Jets Geno Smith shows up, the Rams might win. But I don't think that's happening. It's Sea Chickens.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the middle. It's like the Lions last year.
Dallas at the New York Giants.
Another division matchup.
Before we go into it, rivalries, records don't matter. But in the past, you have to give the edge to Dallas. They have the edge in the series by 35 games.
Make it 36 now.
Okay.
I thought I read today that Dak has won his last 10 games against the Giants.
He has. Yeah. Unlike Romo.
It's the Giants, though.
Make it 11 straight.
Yeah, I think it's another one. Cowboys all day.
Giants just won't score enough points at the end of the game.
And then we have our Monday Night Football matchup. The Buffalo Bills at the Jets. And remember, Buffalo is without Von Miller. And that is a very, very key thing.
Another big AFC division matchup.
Yep.
All right, I'll start first. I don't even care. We talked about this yesterday already. You know my feelings on this already. Hey, man, I need everything for my life will be complete if the Jets start 0-4. I just need to see this New York market slamming Rodgers and not giving them no softball questions. I got them losing this one. Let's make it 27-24.
Dom?
Bills. And I want to see them blow out the Jets, pardon.
You got
that pressure on Aaron Rodgers.
I'm letting you go first, Jordan.
I'll take this one last because I might be the only one with a different opinion.
I want the Jets to win. I said it
really?
last night as Travis. I
Yeah.
want the Jets to win because I want Karen Rodgers to come up hot and fall short in the playoffs just like he did with the Fudge Packers because he's got half the team with him.
I got the Jets winning a defensive battle 17-13.
Low scoring.
Bills' defense is in decline.
Yeah, it is. And so is Josh
So is
Allen's
Aaron
mechanics ever since Brian
We
Dable
don't
left.
have a friggin' running back.
So is Aaron Rodgers.
Good Lord, Bills, call Joik Bell.
Wait, I'm going to address that right now. If it wasn't for 44 drops by Green Bay wide receivers, Aaron Rodgers would have completed 71.6% of his passes last year.
And that sounds great until you realize that he brought half the receivers over with him.
No, he brought the ones that actually caught the balls he threw. He left the rookies there.
He just brought the 40-year-old Randall Cobb.
And Alan Lazard.
And Alan Lazard.
Wow. If Randall Cobb's only 40, then I'm only 30.
You might be 30.
Randall Cobb is 75 years old.
Randall Cobb is wearing the same body armor suit that Tony Romo wore to take the field.
What
if
if they go out there? What if they go out there Monday night and Randall Cobb leads the Jets with like 12 targets?
Oh my God!
The funny thing is, I was just about to say that he's good for that one game a season. It's that one game that he's on no one's roster, and he's going to put up 100, 11 catches, 112 yards, and a touchdown just because he's good for it. This might be that week. That it will stink for everybody, but I'm going to think about this conversation if it happens though.
Because everybody's going to think Garrett Wilson.
Everybody can say fuck Aaron Rodgers all they want, but he's out of the division, so I don't even care anymore. I want him to win because I want the Jets relevant again.
I want him to pull a Brett Favre.
Oh yeah,
he's going
choke in the playoffs and end up on the Vikings roster when they cut Kirk Cousins because they can't afford him next year.
You know what's sad about the Jets? They've only had one 4,000-yard passer and 130 touchdown quarterback.
Wasn't that Chad Pennington?
No. Can you name it?
No.
The only 30 touchdown.
Testicle Verde.
The only 30.
Was it Vinny Testanetse?
No. The last 4,000-yard quarterback the New York Jets have had was Joe Namath.
Dang.
And then their only 30 touchdown quarterback.
There's the best comment ever. Rodgers is going to take 5 shots of peyote and talk to his spirit guide and somehow win this game against the Bills.
And their only 30 touchdown quarterback was Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Oh, Fitzmagic.
Wow.
Oh, that was when the starter
season?
Went down week 1 and he took over and had a great year, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was like 2012.
Yeah, that's like that's the second.
That was
thing
Geno
on
Smith.
The Fitzpatrick.
He took over for
circle.
Geno Smith that year, right?
Might have been.
It was.
Wow.
Yeah, he had.
Wise bearded dad, you're close, but it's not peyote. It's like
shrooms.
6 Vicodins.
Yeah.
Because remember
And
that
2
game
shrooms.
1? Remember week 1 a couple of years ago when he got hammered? And then they won the game and they did the post-game interview and his eyes were just glossy.
Now we get to let Jordan go last. We got the Philadelphia Eagles, the Super Bowl losers, going to face New England Patriots. Who you got, Travis?
Boy, it's hard to go against Bill Belichick, but that's exactly what I'm going to have to do. But I think it's probably going to be a lot closer to 20-17.
Dom?
Philly, come on.
I'm taking Philly as well. I think it's going to be a much better matchup than we think because Matt Jones hasn't looked that bad this preseason like he did last season, but I credit a lot of that to Joe Fudge and Fat Matt Patricia. Jordan?
They cut their best quarterback.
Speaking of Matt Patricia, guess who's on the other sideline?
Yeah, he's on the Philadelphia Eagles sideline, so I'm going to root against him a lot, but I'm not in this game.
The Patriots are going to win because you know why? Tom Brady's suiting up, boys.
Because you want to start out 1-0.
Oh, you've been watching way too much of Benchwarmer Brand. When
Tom
he comes
Brady?
out and he
No,
looks at Tom
no,
Brady
they
and
said
it's
it.
Mac Jones and he goes, Dad!
No, they said it. They said Tom Brady's going to be at the game.
Oh,
No, hang on, though. In all seriousness, Is there any other team in the NFL firmly entrenched in last place more than the Patriots? Tampa, maybe?
Arizona.
No, Arizona.
Arizona.
Okay, Arizona.
Washington.
Indianapolis.
Yep.
Houston.
Indianapolis or the
No,
Texans.
I
That's
think
the
I don't.
four.
I think the Colts far and above the Texans. I believe in the Texans being a 6 to 7 win team. I don't
Over
believe in
under
that with the
10
Colts.
snaps for Swift.
What was that by Swift?
Over under 10 snaps for DeAndre Swift.
10 snaps?
10 snaps.
Snaps or touches?
Snaps.
Snaps. So have
Wow.
snaps.
I mean, yeah, over.
I don't know. I if I was Philly, I'd be scared to give him more than 10 snaps a game.
Yeah, I actually have the Patriots sneaking out this game, though. I think they'll win this game. 20 to 7.
The sad thing is, you really believe that.
Well, the weirdest thing is the Colts. All right, so against this same, the Colts, the Eagles struggled against the Colts last year. They only put up 17 points. They had like 2 touchdowns and 2 turnovers is what it was. And Gus Bradley ran like 53% man against them that game. I saw this like earlier yesterday morning, and I was like, that's an interesting little nugget. That's what Bill does, right? Like, so there is the argument to be made early in the week 1 of the season that this could be a low scoring defensive battle, which is right up Bill Belichick's alley, and keep this a low scoring game.
Here's the reason why I'm taking the Patriots. I'm still not convinced Jalen Hurts is a straight like pocket quarterback, and I think
he's not.
He's not.
And that's what I think Belichick.
And nor do they expect him to be.
That's what I think the Patriots are going to do. They're going to take away the run and get them in 3rd and longs and say, "Hey, it's 3rd and 6."
He can still throw.
3rd and 6.
It would be different if Philly, if their offense was based on one thing. Belichick can take away one thing.
Yeah.
Philly does too many things too well.
Well, I'm saying they're gonna try to take away the run is what I'm saying on early downs and force them.
They won't have to.
Let's move on because I do got another show, boys.
Yeah.
All right. Jacksonville at Indianapolis. Travis gets to go last. Jordan, who you got?
You already knew who I'm picking. My boy Anthony Richardson.
Oh God.
The
guy that can't hit water from when throwing from a boat.
Hey,
okay.
He might only throw for 7.
Threw sand in the ocean and miss.
He might go 4 for 21 passing for 77 yards, but he might have 130 rushing.
And it won't be enough to beat.
How'd that work out for Justin Fields?
And
all right.
Good on fantasy.
It'll look great on fantasy, but not at the end of the scoreboard. Jacksonville's winning this game, in my opinion. What do you got there, Dom?
Jacksonville.
And let's say I'm going to say it's 3-1 on this one, Travis.
Come on, man. Yeah, Jacksonville.
Yeah,
I will say there is something greater than a some 0 chance that the Colts could win this game, though.
Well,
I've watched every preseason snap for the Colts starters, and I don't come away just saying that they're guaranteed to win this game. I'm going to be real about this. They're likely to win it, but I don't know. I can't say it's going to happen. They lost against the Colts last season in Indianapolis. We lost 9 of 10.
You know when the last time Jacksonville swept Indy was?
Wait, say what, Jordan?
Lord.
Do you know the last time Jacksonville swept Indianapolis?
I don't.
Oh, God.
It was the year that they went to the playoffs. Wasn't that 2019? The same year
No.
that
Nah, brother. Nah.
No, further back.
It was further back. Was it Mark Brunell?
You knew who their quarterback was for Jacksonville?
I'm assuming Mark Brunell or something.
Yes, in 1999.
I said we've lost 9 of 10. Like I don't.
The Colts either swept them or they split. They have split like 8 years or 9 years in a row.
And it's always whoever's home. Whoever's home wins.
Yeah.
It's just the rule.
Lost like 8 in a row in Jacksonville.
This is the year it goes opposite. I said this already. I told Travis that before any of you guys were here backstage. I said, "You watch. This is the year you're going to win it in their house, and they're going to win it in your house."
No, this is the year. This is the game where Minshew's going to come out and ball out. They're really saying
Minshew's not the
Anthony
starter.
Richardson's playing. They're saying Anthony Richardson's playing, but Gardner Minshew's really going to play.
Oh, against his old team. All right.
And Wise Bearded Dad says literally anyone who is playing the Colts will win.
I don't know that they're as bad as everybody's saying they are, but they're going to lose a lot of games. Like they're going to be in a lot more games than people think they're going to be in, but they're just going to lose them.
Yeah.
They're a lot like last year's Texans. Like
I know,
they
right?
should have beat a lot of teams, but they also still had a bad record.
That's the difference between good teams and bad teams.
Here we go.
Good teams win close games.
This is where I go kitty corner because we are up to the final game of the week, which is the season opener tomorrow night, 8 p.m. in good old Kansas City at Arrowhead Stadium. The Detroit Football Lions go to take on the Super Bowl defending champ Chiefs. Who do you got, Travis?
Yeah, we talked about this one yesterday again. Yeah, I got the Lions. I had the Lions, whether or not Kelsey played, but absolutely, yeah, I'm going with the Lions. 30 to 24.
Who do you got, Jordan?
If it was a USC fight, I would take Dan Campbell. But I'm taking the Chiefs at home.
All right, I gotta ask Dom. Who are you taking, Dom?
Lions. We were going to beat them full strength. No Chris Jones. Maybe no Travis Kelce.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. I've put it out there on the Kneecap Biters page. I put 31 to 27. Lions win. Even if it goes wrong, I expect it to be a close, like a 7-point game, anyways.
Yeah.
If it goes bad and we lose, it'll be like 35-28. I just have that feeling that it's going to be that type of game. We're going to play a lot better than the Chiefs are realizing we are. And the Chiefs are really fucking good. Andy Reid's one of the best coaches for game planning out there other than Belichick.
Yeah.
Andy Reid is the best offensive mind of this century.
Yeah, he made Michael Vick like a above average quarterback.
And the key, the Keegan
Eckert, the Lions want.
The Lions want this game. Did you see what they did? What they posted it on social media yesterday for the defense to get used to hand signals rather than relying on the mic to get their calls. They started blaring a stereo next to the defense every down, so that they would get the defenses
on
right.
Yeah,
they had like 8 Marshall stacks being pulled on trailers behind a lawn tractor, blaring it so they could get used to that noise. And Casey's defense is suspect. My key to the game, and we are going to talk about that here very shortly. I want to get a quick smoke. Dom, are you in for the Lions pregame show in 15 minutes?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you guys want to come back for one? Or are you done there, Travis?
Oh no, I'm gonna give. I almost said the wrong thing. I forgot I'm online. Yeah.
You're done. Gotcha.
I got some stuff. To handle.
And you got wifey.
I'm happy you understood. You understood.
Jordan, do you want to come back and talk some more football?
Yeah, I'll come back. What time you said? 10:30?
In about 15 minutes. 9:30.
Oh, 9:30. Okay.
Yep, I will send you the link here shortly.
Yep.
This has been Kneecap Biting with the Detroit Lions. Smoking Jeremy B needs a cigarette. Thank you to Travis for showing up. He represents Big Cat Country. He writes about the Jaguars like I write about the Lions for Motor City Tribune. Check out his stuff online. Look him up. He's all over. Chad, I'll send you the link. Shoot me your email by text. You got my number. Dom, I'll shoot it to you by email. Jordan, I'll send it through Messenger like I always do. It has been a pleasure talking with everybody. Thank you very much. And we will see you soon.